Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Marvelous, and I want to share with you a discussion I had with some colleagues of mine. With me today is an anonymous friend who is going to help me explain my points of contentions from her perspective that will clarify some of my statements. Let's have the discussion. So, I wanted to run something by you. I had a conversation with my colleagues about what motivates men and women on average, and it went in a direction I didn't expect. I want your honest reaction.
A little bit earlier, if you were willing to discuss.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good.
So we was someone brought up earlier, like, why is there a huge difference between men and women in terms of earning and growing and contributing to society and all those other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at what incentivizes both groups, because what incentivizes men and women are not the same. They do not have the same incentive at all, by no means, at all, not even close.
Say it one more time.
Because it means like what moves women does not move men, and vice versa. It's not the same thing. It never will be the same thing, honestly, in my opinion. Because of cause and effect. Because of cause and effect. That's why it won't not be the same.
What would never be the same?
What incentivizes us, what moves us in a way to do certain things in a certain manner. It's not going to be the same. So the way you move men is not the same way you move women, and vice versa. What incentivizes a man to do one thing is not going to incentivize women to do the same thing.
So, men are incentivized by money and women are incentivized by money. What's the difference?
No. You can be incentivized with money, but the leverage of what you hold money with, that is the real thing. That is what you're trying to incentivize with. The money gets to get you what you want. It's a tool. It's what you're willing to do with that tool. That's different. Men and women do not operate the same way in that same manner.
Right, because so you're saying what, men are more responsible with their money than women is what you're trying to say?
Absolutely not. It has nothing to do with responsibilities. No. I'm saying like this. If I may be blatantly honest here, okay? This is the honesty in me, right? That I've seen with men. I can speak about men. I can't talk about women. I'm never gonna talk about women. I won't do that, okay?
Okay.
How I see men operate. Men move off of women in general, being that is the number one thing that men desire is a woman, right? Is that correct to say?
For some men, yeah. I say majority.
Would you say the majority? Thank you. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to hear. You just said most men have a strong desire for women. Mm-hmm. Okay. What incentive do women have on the flip side?
They have plenty of. Most women, they want a man as well.
No. But it's not the number one desire. It's not. That's what to be honest about. No, it's not. Men, no. Women do not. It's not a woman's number one desire to men. That's a lie. Man.
Wasn't there, but after hearing the recap, I think I know exactly why things got heated. Go ahead. Tell me again what you said.
My basic idea was this. Men are pulled by desire and grounded by fear. Women are grounded in their desire and pulled by fear. Meaning, men move from desire first and deal with fear later. Women evaluate fear first, then move toward their desire. And people seem fine with that until I added, men primarily desire women. I don't know what women desire, but I do know men aren't their primary desire. That part triggered confusion.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Not because your logic was wrong, but because I understand exactly why the room shifted. What you said about men, nobody objects to that. Men being desire-driven is an accepted idea. But when you said women don't primarily desire men, even though you meant it neutrally, you hit a sensitive point in the female psyche. Here's the truth from a woman's perspective. Women have a fear of being misunderstood, reduced, and of being defined negatively, especially by men. And let me be blunt. Most women don't want to be defined at all unless that definition comes from themselves. So when you said, men aren't the average woman's primary desire, many women subconsciously heard, women don't actually love men. Women only care about survival. Women use men strategically. Women don't value romantic connection. You didn't say any of that, but emotionally, that's how it translated.
Right, because what I meant was, I don't know what women desire specifically, but I can observe that a man himself isn't always the first thing she prioritizes. There are other motivations she addresses first. That's not negative to me. That's just how fear and desire function differently between the sexes.
Exactly. And the misunderstanding comes from interpretation. You were talking about incentives, but they heard identity judgment. Because for some women, fear feels like weakness. Desire filtered through survival sounds calculating. And men not being the primary desire feels like you're dismissing emotional connection. Even though you weren't, you were simply describing the sequence of motivations. Let me put it in plain language. Men desire, then face fear. Women face fear and then allow desires to follow. That's not insulting. It's just two different operating systems. And you know what's funny? Toward the end, another woman said, "Women move according to survival."
You know, the ones you see, but then the men are the face of it. I'm confused, right? He also said that money. He said men are drawn by lust or money. Women. But then he switched it to money. So, which one is it? Is men? Are they doing what they do because of women, or are they doing it because of money? Because women are doing it for money. A lot of things women are doing is to survive.
Which is literally the same thing you said. She just used the word survival that feels empowering instead of vulnerable. Women don't mind being seen as strategic, but they do mind being seen as afraid. Let me be real for a moment. Women don't want men telling them what they feel, want, fear, or desire. We want the freedom to define ourselves, even if what you describe is actually true. So when you talk about women's motivations, even accurately, you're stepping into a psychological territory where women are already defensive. Not because you're wrong, but because it threatens narrative control.
That makes sense. I wasn't attacking women or defining them negatively. I was simply pointing out that our motivations aren't the same. What moves men isn't what moves women, on average.
And you were right. It was the phrasing that set people off, not the idea. If you had said, "Women desire men, but their desire passes through a filter of safety and certainty," everyone would have agreed, because that's how we live. You weren't being deceptive. You weren't contradicting yourself. You just touched a sensitive spot in a way that felt too direct. Honestly, this whole thing wasn't a disagreement about truth. It was a disagreement about tone, perception, and identity. Once you understand that women fear being misunderstood just as much as men fear rejection, the whole conversation makes sense.
I appreciate that breakdown. It clears up a lot. And it's probably the version I wish the room heard the first time. Anyways, thanks for your marvelous breakdown. I'm sure the audience will really appreciate your opinion. Anyways, that's it for today's topic of discussion. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, peace and love, people. Take care. I'm out.